The Kiwi squad has just been announced today, and today we're going to break it down for you in preparation for the Pacific Championships coming up in 2 weeks' time. As you can see here on the right hand side are the three matchups, and the Kiwis versus Samoa, which is looking action packed right now. Massive game that's going to be played in at Mount Smart in 2 weeks' time, and we're going to break down this Kiwi squad for you for me personally, it's a pretty good squad. I can't fault it too much considering injuries. Obviously, Jerome Hughes is one of the big outs, with Foz putting his hand up. Sean Johnson, a la Sean Johnson 2024, Foz has said, I'll do one more, and I'm hoping that he does a great job. But we'll break this team down for you guys right now. Um, in the backs, fullback positions, Keanu Kinney makes his way in, and a lot of people will probably be saying, wow, he's been injured. How could Keanu Kinney get a run? Well, I think he's just that talented. We've looked at what Reece Walsh has done. He's that type of speedy fullback. He can be a game breaker. He was a game breaker in many occasions in last year's Pacific Championships. Even though we lost, he was quite vital. Me personally, I would take a Kenny over a Nickel Clockstead, who you know will give you yardage and consistency, but Keanu Kenny is that game breaker. And with the trust that Stacey's put in him last year, it's probably pointing that Keanu will start. Jermaine Isako, along with Ronaldo Mulatalo, I'm picturing are going to be the wingers. Jermaine will probably play right side with Ronaldo on the left side, which Jermaine's been awesome for us. His kicking game, finishing. Ronaldo as well, the speed and output that he can offer. He had a great year, I thought, this year. A lot of mature play from him, so that should be really, really interesting. The battle of the centres, Timoko, Chris, and Casey McLean. It's a good little battle. Timoko, obviously, having success with the Raiders as well as Chris. Timoko has that experience in 23, had a really poor showing last year as a centre in 24. He was really off the boil. Does that maybe say Sebastian Chris gets in there? Or is Sebastian Chris fullback cover as well? Casey McLean, the out and out centre, I thought that was competing at the top of his level alongside Katoni Staggs and others in the comp. He really shunned this year. He played on the wing against PNG at the end of last year. And so you're thinking, does he get a bolter spot now at the centre position? I think it's very highly likely. But we will have to wait and see what happens in that space. Foz, the ever present legend who always provides. I'm thinking he's going to play in the six. Then again, some are saying he'll play in the seven and direct things around. Dylan Brown, if we remember, did play as a seven for the Eels for a large majority when Moses was out. Does that mean he goes into seven and four and plays a traditional six, or does four and play that and he plays as a six? Well, we have to wait and see how that unfolds. But Fisher Harris and Leota, great to have those two combining back together. That will be a reassurance for Fisher Harris, who is a prop that needs a running partner that can work at the same level as him. So hopefully a clean defensive unit there with decent carries. So that'll be your 1-2 punch to start your games off, and then you're looking at a game breaker. Now, Fahu White could be one of those. You got Asafa Solomon. I'll talk about him very shortly. With Xavier Willison, who I think has been the impact player in the finals, really coming on off the bench for the Broncos and making impact. Could he be that guy for us? We'll have to wait and see. Marshall King, Phoenix Crossland. You're looking at Marshall King and thinking it's his time now. He's had injuries ever since the World Cup, so he's missed two years already of Kiwis play. This will be, hopefully he'll be able to stay injury free and progress into the next phase. Especially for a World Cup, we need a quality hooker, as that's an area that we have struggled in. Phoenix Crossland can do a job there. We saw what he did last year, but Marshall King is that next level up. Phoenix, I think, will play 14 or cover more spots, but ideally Marshall King will play the 80. Britton Nicola, great to have him back. Someone we have missed last year, and he brings that attack and should help that right edge, working with that half, whoever's on that side, running good lines. He should be defensively sound. Isaiah Papali'i and Scott Sorensen make out the left-hand side. I'm not too sure how that will go. Maybe Isaiah will start on the bench. Sorensen may be on the left-hand side. People saying, where's Riki? We'll have to find out the reasoning for that. But Sorensen and Papali are no joke. They've had a deep run in the finals. They're consistent players. Good to have that kind of trio of back rowers training together and working together, and hopefully we finalise who that partnership is. Joe Tapine and Aaron Clark. You'd probably say Joe Tapine is your out and out lock there that solidifies Fisher Harris and Leota and those three as a solid front row and lock. But Aaron Clark, the bolter, the man that won the Liam Lock of the Year, he's definitely in the mix, either as impact or could be a starter. We'll have to wait and see how that unfolds. But just to break down mainly Asafa Solomona, it is an issue. People are finding that how did he get in here? He hasn't played first grade. He's on the outer in Melbourne. He hasn't been performing. Why has Stacey gone with him as a selection? There's the intimidation factor. Nelson, with his size, does bring that intimidating factor. But again, he is I would say, one step away from a sin bin, or one step away from a suspension. Why would you carry that? I think there's a genuine argument, though, that there needs to be some physicality in that pack. We're coming up against Adam Fanua Blake's, Payne Haas's, Utoi Komanu's. There's some massive, massive four packs that will be competing. The front row battles for this comp is going to be massive. So does Nelson come in and solidify that and bring some stoutness to that front row to intimidate, to keep other teams accountable? He was big in 2023 in that role, that physicality through the middle. If that's the way we're going to play, we might need him. But for me, ultimately, this squad is a good squad. It lacks a bit of halves cover. I know outside, if Foz goes down, he's old. Dylan Brown hasn't been the fittest. He's played in and out. If that doesn't work, we're resting on a Phoenix Crossland, a CNK as our halves cover. I personally would have liked a Nikorima. I'm not sure if he's injured or not. A Tamari Martin might have been a bit more of that utility cover that you could have gotten there. It's a shame, but I just think that we're just a little bit light in that area. Need one more out-and-out half to cover. But overall, that's probably the best we've got. It's good to see some guys come back in from 2023 success. We missed them in 24. Seb Chris, another great opportunity for him to come back into the fold. There's plenty of stuff to look at. Even with Jerome Hughes gone, we want to see the core nucleus of the team, and hoping he comes back in 26 to run into the World Cup. But we want to see the nucleus of the team moving forward. Will likes of Xavier Willison get an opportunity? Will there be some more youth and more experience? Does Keanu Kinney actually get that fullback role, or does a chance take that off him? We're starting to see what the plan is for 2026. But more importantly, we got some massive games ahead of ourselves. New Zealand Samoa, I've seen the Samoan squad. It is not, it is top shelf. With a Talangi Nilue building off of that pack. They got CHT in there. We know what he can do. So they got a really good, and the back five looks insane for yardage. That's not going to be the same as what it was in 23. It's a better team than that. Same for Tonga. They've got quality all around the park. In the forwards, the outside backs are fast. This is going to be a very tough challenge, especially with Tonga having that confidence from last year. And you're thinking Samoa will have confidence too, that with Payne Haas there, they're going to be a good, solid team. So there's no easy games here. Stacey will have to get it right from the get-go. You lose one, and then you got to wait for the result of Samoa Tonga, and then you got to really beat Tonga, who beat you last year. So you got to be able to know that you can get the job done from the get-go. That first game against Samoa is pivotal. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the squad, with what's available. Are there any other bolters, any other guys that could have gone to go? Jordan Riki is the only other argument, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with the Nas situation. We are running a little bit low on the halves. That's my only area of concern, really. Outside left backs look pretty good. It's probably the best we've got available, but I can't wait for the Pacific champs. Let me know what you guys think. Are we short in certain areas? Is this team good enough? Is Stacey going to get the best out of this team? A lot falls on him to make up for what happened last year. There still should be a high standard. We shouldn't be coming in third favourites. We should, as a Kiwis, as a nation of rugby league, we should be trying to still think we're favourites in winning this comp. But we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, looking forward to it. Please hit that like and subscribe to Wires Up TV for more Pacific Championships and Ashes coverage over the next couple of weeks. Stay safe. We'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.